The ultimatum commander, Alina Vasquez, stood on the bridge of the exploration vessel Terra Nova, watching the stars through the main viewport. The ship had been conducting routine surveys near the edge of human space for 3 months. Everything seemed peaceful until today. Alina was a veteran officer with 15 years of experience exploring the unknown regions of space. She had short black hair, brown eyes, and a reputation for staying calm under pressure. The bridge crew worked quietly. At their stations, Lieutenant David Park monitored the sensor arrays, while Communications Officer Lisa Wong handled all incoming and outgoing messages. Chief Navigation Officer Carlos Martinez plotted their course through the asteroid field they were studying. The Terra Nova was not a military vessel, but it carried enough defensive systems to handle pirates or hostile wildlife. Alina had been reviewing survey reports when the ship's proximity alarms suddenly activated. The warning lights bathed the bridge in red as automated systems detected multiple large objects approaching their position. Lieutenant Park looked up from his station with worry in his eyes. "Commander, I'm reading 15 massive ships dropping out of hyperspace. They're surrounding us." Alina moved to the tactical display and studied the sensor readings. The approaching vessels were enormous, each one larger than Earth's biggest battleships. Their hull designs were unfamiliar, with smooth curves and organic-looking sections that pulsed with energy. "Any response to our standard greeting transmissions, Lisa?" Alina asked the communications officer. Lisa Wong shook her head while adjusting her headset. "No response to any of our channels, Commander, but I'm detecting a powerful transmission beam targeting our ship directly." The main screen flickered and displayed the image of an alien creature unlike anything Alina had ever seen. The being had pale blue skin, 6 arms, and eyes that glowed with purple light. Its head was elongated and covered with what looked like natural armor plating. The alien spoke in perfect English, though its voice carried a strange harmonic quality that made Alina's skin crawl. "Human vessel, I am Overlord Crix of the Zephyrian Collective. You will listen carefully to my words and relay them to your species immediately." The alien's 6 arms moved gracefully as it spoke, each gesture emphasizing its words with alien. Authority. Alina stepped forward and activated the ship's response system. "This is Commander Alina Vasquez of the Earth Exploration Service. We are conducting peaceful scientific research in neutral space. What is the nature of your visit?" She tried to keep her voice steady, but something about the alien's presence filled her with dread. Overlord Crix leaned closer to its transmission device, and Alina could see rows of sharp teeth when it spoke. "Your species has been observed expanding into regions of space that belong to the Collective. This unauthorized expansion ends now. You will deliver this message to your planetary government without delay." The alien paused, and its glowing eyes seemed to stare directly through the screen at Alina. "The Zephyrian Collective hereby claims dominion over all human settlements and territories. Your species will surrender all military vessels to our forces within 48 Earth hours. All human colonies will accept collective oversight and governance. Your home planet will submit to direct collective rule without resistance." The alien's voice grew more menacing with each demand. Alina felt her heart pounding as she listened to the impossible ultimatum. "Overlord Crix, humanity is a peaceful species. We seek cooperation and friendship with all intelligent life. Perhaps we can negotiate a solution that benefits both our peoples." She hoped diplomacy might change the alien's mind, but Crix's expression showed no interest in discussion. The alien leader made a dismissive gesture with 2 of its 6 arms. There will be no negotiation. Human, your species will comply with collective demands or face complete annihilation. We have studied your military capabilities extensively. Your technology is primitive compared to our advanced systems. Resistance is futile and will only result in unnecessary destruction. The transmission screen showed images of massive Zephyrian fleets positioned around human colonies. Alina could see hundreds of alien warships surrounding peaceful civilian settlements. The display showed detailed scans of Earth's defensive systems, proving that the collective had been watching humanity for years. 48 hours, Commander Vasquez. Use this time wisely to convince your leaders that submission is their only option for survival. The transmission ended abruptly, leaving Alina and her crew staring at the empty screen. The bridge fell silent except for the soft humming of the ship's systems. Lieutenant Park checked his sensors again and reported that the alien fleet was maintaining position around the Terra Nova, but not showing hostile intent yet. Alina knew she had to get this information back to Earth as quickly as possible. Carlos, plot a course for Earth at maximum speed. Lisa, send an emergency transmission to Earth Command with everything we just recorded. David, keep monitoring those ships and alert me if they make any threatening moves. Elena's mind raced as she considered the implications of the alien ultimatum. Humanity had always hoped first contact would be peaceful, but the Zephyrian collective clearly had other plans. The Terra Nova's engines roared to life as the ship broke away from the asteroid field and headed toward human space. The journey back to Earth would take 3 days, even at maximum speed, leaving very little time before the collective's deadline expired. Alina spent the entire trip reviewing everything they knew about human military capabilities and realized the aliens were probably right about their technological superiority. When the Terra Nova finally arrived at Earth orbit, Alina was immediately transported to the underground command center beneath the Rocky Mountains. The facility buzzed with activity as military officers and government officials tried to process the alien threat. Admiral Marcus Chen was waiting for Alina in the main briefing room along with several other high-ranking officials. Admiral Chen was a tall man in his 60s with grey hair and intelligent brown eyes. He had served in the Frontier Defense Forces for over 30 years and was known for his strategic thinking. Commander Vasquez, thank you for bringing us this information quickly. We've been analyzing the data you transmitted, and the situation is even worse than we initially thought. Alina took a seat at the conference table and looked around at the assembled officials. Dr. Maya Patel sat nearby reviewing technical specifications on her tablet. She was Earth's leading expert on alien technology and had been studying intercepted collective transmissions for months. The Zephyrian ships use plasma-based weapons that can penetrate our strongest armor. Their shield systems can deflect our most powerful missiles without taking damage. General Robert Hayes spoke up from across the table. He commanded Earth's orbital defense platforms and knew their limitations better than anyone. Our entire fleet consists of maybe 300 ships, including frigates and support vessels. Intelligence estimates suggest the collective has over 5,000 warships at their disposal. This isn't a battle we can win through conventional means. Alina felt a growing sense of despair as she listened to the military assessments. Every analysis pointed to the same conclusion, that humanity simply could not defend itself against such overwhelming force. Admiral, what options do we have? There has to be something we can do besides surrender to alien rule. Admiral Chen walked to the large wall display showing a map of human space and the positions of known collective fleets. He studied the tactical information for several minutes before turning back to face the group. There is one possibility, but it involves activating something that has been classified at the highest levels for over 50 years. Something that was built in secret and hidden away because it was too dangerous to use. Dr. Patel looked up from her tablet with surprise. "Admiral, what are you talking about? I have access to all our advanced weapons projects, and there's nothing that could match collective technology." She had been involved in human military research for 20 years and thought she knew about every classified program. Admiral Chen activated a secure terminal and entered a long series of authorization codes. The main screen displayed a single line of text that made everyone in the room fall silent. Project Leviathan, Emergency Protocol 7, Deep Sea Facility, Omega. The Admiral turned to face Alina directly. "Commander, how do you feel about taking command of humanity's last hope?" Alina stared at the mysterious text on the screen and felt her pulse quicken. "What is Project Leviathan, Admiral?" She had never heard of any military project by that name, which meant it was classified far above her security clearance level. Admiral Chen gathered several classified files and handed them to Alina. 50 years ago, during the colonial rebellion crisis, our scientists created something that combined human engineering with captured alien technology. The project was so controversial that it was sealed away and forgotten by almost everyone. The collective ultimatum has triggered automatic systems that have been dormant for decades. Dr. Patel leaned forward with growing excitement. "You're talking about biomechanical integration, aren't you? The theoretical research that was banned after the Geneva Accords." She had read about such possibilities in old scientific papers, but thought they were just speculation. Admiral Chen nodded grimly. "The facility is located 3 kilometers beneath the Pacific Ocean. The ship that was built there has been learning and evolving in isolation for 50 years. If we're going to activate it, we need someone with the right psychological profile to interface with its systems." He looked directly at Alina. "According to our analysis, you're the only person currently available who matches the required criteria." Alina felt a chill run down her spine as she realized the enormous responsibility being placed on her shoulders. "What exactly am I being asked to do, Admiral?" She wanted to understand the full scope of what Project Leviathan involved before making any commitments. Admiral Chen stood up and walked toward the door. "You're being asked to wake up something that was designed to protect humanity at any cost. Something that our enemies will wish had stayed sleeping in the depths of the ocean. We leave for the Pacific facility in 1 hour, Commander. What we find down there will either save our species or condemn us all. The Awakening the Deep Sea. Transport vessel Nautilus descended through the dark waters of the Pacific Ocean, carrying Alina and her team toward the mysterious facility. Alina sat in the passenger compartment reviewing classified files about Project Leviathan while trying to control her nervousness. The submarine's hull creaked under the enormous pressure as they reached depths where sunlight never penetrated. Admiral Chen sat across from Alina, studying tactical displays on his portable computer. Chief Engineer Tom S. Rodriguez worked at a nearby station running diagnostics on specialized equipment they would need at the facility. Lieutenant Sarah Kim monitored their descent and communicated with the automated systems guiding them to their destination. The team was small but highly skilled, chosen specifically for their ability to work under extreme pressure. Dr. Maya Patel sat next to Alina, reading through technical specifications that seemed almost impossible to believe. The theoretical energy output described in these documents would be enough to power entire cities. If these calculations are correct, we're dealing with technology that's decades ahead of anything currently in service. She looked up from her tablet with a mixture of excitement and concern. Alina continued, reading about the ship's unique construction, methods, and felt increasingly uncomfortable with what she learned. According to these files, the vessel was built using a combination of human engineering and alien biotechnology recovered from crashed ships. The integration process created something that's part machine and part living organism. The concept seemed like something from a science fiction story rather than real military hardware. The Nautilus reached the ocean floor and approached what looked like natural rock formations. However, as they drew closer, Alina could see that the geological features were actually camouflaged structures built to hide the facility from detection. Hidden doors opened in the artificial mountain, revealing an airlock large enough to accommodate their submarine. Chief Engineer Rodriguez monitored the docking sequence as automated systems guided them into the facility. Pressure equalization complete. The facility's systems are responding normally despite being inactive for decades. Whatever built this place was designed to last. He had 30 years of experience working with advanced technology, but the engineering displayed here impressed even him. The team transferred from the Nautilus into the facility through a connecting airlock. Emergency lighting, activated as their presence, was detected by dormant systems that had been waiting patiently for authorized personnel to arrive. The corridors were built from some kind of dark composite material that Alina didn't recognize, and the walls were covered with warning signs in multiple languages. Admiral Chen led the group through the facility using maps from the classified files. The main construction chamber is located at the facility center. Most of the supporting systems have been running on minimum power for 50 years, but the primary project should be fully operational. He seemed nervous about what they might find, despite having access to all the project documentation. They reached a massive elevator that carried them down through multiple levels of the underwater complex. Alina felt her ears pop as they descended deeper into the facility. When the elevator doors finally opened, they stepped into an enormous artificial cavern that took her breath away. The chamber was so large that she couldn't see the far walls in the dim, emergency lighting dot in the center of the cavern sat something that challenged everything Alina knew about ship construction. The vessel was enormous, stretching nearly 3 kilometers from bow to stern. Its hull appeared to be made of living metal that shifted and flowed like liquid in the dim light. Strange organic tubes pulsed with faint energy along its surface, and sections of the hull expanded and contracted like breathing. Lieutenant Kim stepped back instinctively as she stared at the impossible ship. "Admiral, what exactly are we looking at here? That thing doesn't look like any human vessel I've ever seen." Her voice echoed in the vast chamber as automated systems began responding to their presence. Dr. Patel approached with her scanner beeping rapidly as it detected massive energy signatures from the dormant vessel. "The biomechanical integration is far more extensive than I imagined. The ship appears to be a hybrid organism that combines human technology with alien biological components. It's been growing and evolving for 50 years while we thought it was inactive." Admiral Chen walked to a control station near the ship and began entering authorization codes from his classified files. The chamber's main lighting system activated, revealing the full scope of the incredible vessel. The ship was unlike anything built by human hands, with a hull design that seemed to flow like water frozen in time. Alina approached the ship and noticed a boarding ramp extending from its underside. Lights came on along the ramp as the vessel's systems detected her presence. She felt drawn to the ship in a way she couldn't explain, as if it was somehow calling to her. "Admiral, the files mention an artificial intelligence system that controls the ship's operations. What can you tell me about that?" Admiral Chen consulted his tablet and found the relevant information. The AI is called Poseidon, and it was designed to learn and adapt during combat situations. The biological components allow it to repair damage automatically and modify its weapons based on enemy capabilities. However, it requires a human interface to function at full capacity. The boarding ramp touched the chamber floor with a soft metallic sound. Alina walked toward the ship and felt a strange tingling sensation as invisible scanners examined her. The ship's hull near the ramp began to glow with soft blue light, and she could hear a low humming sound coming from deep within the vessel. Chief Engineer Rodriguez followed Alina up the ramp while monitoring his equipment for any signs of danger. The energy readings are incredible. This ship has been drawing power from geothermal sources on the ocean floor for decades. Its fusion reactors are operating at levels that should be impossible to sustain. He had never seen anything like the technology integrated into the vessel's systems. The ship's interior was warm and humid, with corridors that had an organic appearance despite being constructed from advanced materials. The walls had a texture that reminded Alina of living tissue, and soft bioluminescent lighting pulsed along the ceiling in patterns that seemed almost like neural activity. The air had a metallic taste with hints of something she couldn't identify. Alina made her way to the bridge, which was located at the ship's center. The command area was dominated by a single captain's chair, surrounded by control interfaces that looked nothing like standard human designs. As she approached the command station, the ship's AI activated for the first time in decades, and a voice spoke through hidden speakers throughout the bridge. "Poseidon AI systems online. Emergency protocols activated. Scanning for authorized command personnel." The voice had a quality unlike any artificial intelligence Alina had encountered before. It seemed to have depth and emotion that suggested true consciousness rather than simple programming. Alina felt nervous as invisible scanners examined every aspect of her physical and mental state. "I am Commander Alina Vasquez of the Earth Defense Service. We are here under emergency authorization to activate this vessel in response to an alien threat." She wasn't sure how to communicate with such an advanced AI system. "Commander Vasquez, your psychological profile matches the parameters established for ship command interface. Do you accept full command responsibility for this vessel and its missions?" The AI's voice seemed to resonate through Alina's mind, as well as her ears, creating a connection she had never experienced before. Alina looked around the bridge at the alien-influenced technology and realized the enormous responsibility being offered to her. This ship represented humanity's last hope against the Zephyrian Collective, but it also embodied technologies that pushed the boundaries of human ethics and morality. "I accept command responsibility, Poseidon. What are your current capabilities?" The bridge came alive with displays showing the ship's status and weapon systems. Alina felt a strange sensation as her mind connected with the AI, sharing information and establishing the command interface. Ship designation, UES Kraken. Primary mission parameters, defense of human territories by any means necessary. Current status, all systems operational and ready for combat deployment. Lieutenant Kim took her position at the navigation station and began familiarizing herself with the advanced control systems. "Commander, this ship's capabilities are beyond anything in our current fleet. The weapon systems alone could engage multiple enemy vessels simultaneously." She had never seen such advanced targeting and fire. Control systems. Dr. Patel studied the engineering displays with growing amazement. The biomechanical integration allows the ship to adapt its systems in real time based on combat requirements. It can literally evolve new capabilities during battle to counter enemy tactics. She realized they were looking at technology that represented a quantum leap forward in military capability. Chief Engineer Rodriguez established his connection with the ship's systems and felt overwhelmed by the complexity of the integrated technology. The fusion reactors are operating at efficiency levels that shouldn't be possible. The organic components are processing energy in ways that human science doesn't fully understand yet. This ship could operate independently for years without external support. Alina settled into the command chair and felt the neural interface, establishing deeper connections with her mind. Through Poseidon, she could sense every system throughout the massive vessel. The ship had been waiting for decades for someone to wake it from its slumber, and now it was eager to fulfill its original purpose. Poseidon, prepare for surface deployment. It's time to show the Zephyrion Collective what humanity is truly capable of when pushed to desperation. Alina felt the ship's excitement as its long dormancy came to an end. The biological components pulsed with increased energy as combat systems came online for the first time in 50 years. The chamber began flooding with water as the facility prepared for the ship's departure. The EU's Kraken detached from its construction cradle and moved toward the exit passage with surprising grace for such a massive vessel. Alina could feel every movement through her connection with Poseidon, as if the ship were an extension of her own body. As the Kraken emerged from the depths of the Pacific Ocean, Alina knew that humanity's fate hung in the balance. The ship represented their species' ingenuity, determination, and willingness to embrace dangerous technologies when survival was at stake. The Zephyrion Collective had given humanity an ultimatum, but they had also awakened something that had been sleeping in the deep ocean for 50 years. The battle for human freedom was about to begin, and the aliens would soon learn that humanity's greatest weapon was not any single technology, but their refusal to surrender even when facing impossible odds. The EU's Kraken rose toward the surface like an ancient sea monster answering the call of war, ready to defend its creators against any threat the galaxy could offer. Asterisk.